Hello, everyone. I'm Allison, and welcome to my weekly meltdowns final, say it for the last time, coverage of Big Brother 20. Tonight was the finale, and Kaycee won Big Brother 20. We've already got a bunch of people in the chat. Winston is here. My mom, who's under James Edwards, Nostalgia Man, Joy-Con Thomas, Rebecca Hurley, everybody. What a show. Deb should be joining us shortly, hopefully. Hello, Maria. I see her in there. Zachary Forrest is in there. Well, I know our Tyler's happy.
Yay.
Wow, what a night to be Tyler Lyons, and what a night to not be Tyler from Big Brother 20 is all I have to say. I am over the moon happy with this, you guys. But first, before we get into it, you know, me and Allison, like, we've been hosts for like a really long time together, and I don't think that co-host is the right term for this. And
are you gonna propose?
Yeah, after 23 episodes together, Allison, will you marry me?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fine.
It'll be a marriage.
She's not my type.
We'll get good tax refunds. So sure.
Yeah.
Why not? True. Oh yay, that was so sweet. Thank you.
Oh, I am so happy, you guys. Like, I am like, even though Allison just shot me down, I am still so happy about this finale.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised.
Me too.
For a minute there, I thought that Tyler was really gonna win.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, I really thought he was gonna win.
Yeah.
When Haleigh voted for Tyler, I thought that he was going to win. Because I was like, oh, well, if Haleigh won... And then I thought, well, then if Haleigh voted for Tyler, then Fessy voted for Tyler. But then Fessy voted for Kaycee. And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking, too. I was like, oh, great. Well, Fessy's just going to vote however Haleigh votes.
Yeah.
But then when Haleigh got up there and said, she was like, I didn't really decide until, like, the questions and stuff like that. I was like, okay, like, maybe there's a chance. And it was really cool. Like, to be on this like roller coaster for like a minute or two, because I was right there with you, Kyle. Like, I thought for sure that Fessy would vote the same way as Haleigh, but nope, he voted for Kaycee. So did Scottie, which surprised me too, and that was enough. Yeah, and that was enough, and Kaycee won. And I'm so glad that, like, I was really dreading having to come on this show and say, like, all right, like, yeah, Tyler won the season. I guess he's not half that bad. But he is half that bad. He did not pull out the win tonight. And I am so glad everything I've been harping on this entire season has finally paid off.
I was really surprised. I mean, I'm not too shocked that Kaycee won, but I didn't really feel that her speeches, she answered the questions really by the jury. I kind of felt like she just answered the same way differently. I don't know if that makes any sense. Maybe it's just me. But my whole argument, I'm happy she won, so don't come at me or anything. You know, it's just I do feel that she did ride Tyler's coattails a little bit. She was a foot soldier. She went in and did what she was told, which is playing the game, but she didn't hatch any mastermind plans or anything. And when she was asked that question, the only thing she could say was, well, I had a good social game.
I think that, like, the timing of it all, like, really messed everything up, which I think is totally rude for production to be rushing these, like, speeches and stuff like that. These people have worked months towards, like, preparing for this. And I just think that's really disrespectful to the players and the game that they are playing. But I think that like really messed her up. I didn't think that she was able to really reiterate that, because she was thinking time the entire time.
And
hey,
like, what's that?
When we went to the finale, not the finale, the premiere party, I was interviewed by TV Party App, and they asked me, like, as a super fan, what type of advice would I give to these people that are playing?
Yeah.
And I said, it doesn't matter what you say or what you do. It matters how you make people feel in the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you were on the jury and you made them feel bad, they're not going to vote for you.
Yeah.
Kaycee played the social game. She spent the first half of the game making people love her, making people feel good about themselves, making people not so sad when they're leaving the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you I totally agree, Deb. And I think I'll tell you the moment that I think Kaycee won. I think Kaycee won the moment she said, like, she kind of buried Tyler in the sense that, like, Tyler said, like, yeah, I have these great side deals with JC and with Sam. But then Kaycee goes in there and says, I didn't just have side deals with you guys. I made genuine, real friendships with the other side of the house because I knew, like, I needed to be safe if it came down to you guys winning. And you guys were really great threats. Like, not only does she, like, acknowledge that they were great game players, but she kind of patted their back saying this was genuine. This wasn't just a deal that I'm trying to brag about at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
And you saw, like, Haleigh, like, nod her head. You saw Sam was just, like, gleaming because she's a simpleton and she just wants to be treated like a human being.
Well, the thing about Sam too is like you were saying about, like, with feelings and stuff. So I think that Sam that really stuck with her because even though, like, her and Tyler had a really solid relationship for, like, most of the game, I think she really felt like he just kind of, like, threw her to the wolves. Like, when she didn't benefit him anymore. So he kind of was just like, goodbye. So I think that definitely stuck with her. So, cause like you said, Sam's definitely very simple. And I think that emotions and personal connection really is important to her. And despite Tyler's connection with her, I think she really felt betrayed by him. And so it didn't matter. It didn't really matter what he said at the end of the day because he treated her like crap. So she was just like, I'm not going to vote for you.
And it kind of worked to her favor too, that, like, she was, like, seriously, like, loyal, like, to the very end, even when she knew she was rolling the dice and risking losing by taking Tyler instead. But that really helped, like, build the genuine argument that Kaycee is a loyal soldier and these connections she's made with the other side are super loyal.
There's a lot of talk in the chat about how annoyed they are with how they were rushed through things, which I think anytime you're rushed, you're not going to make a lot of sense because you're thinking too much about how much time that you have to make your point. And I personally feel, and I've thought this for years, that they need to make the finale 2 hours. I'm glad we got to see Survivor tonight, but I would have much rather have had 2 full hours of Big Brother tonight and then give me 2 hours of Survivor tomorrow night. I mean,
who cried during Survivor? Did anybody cry?
I didn't.
This episode tonight was so emotional. There was so much crying, so many tears.
I said this in the chat, but I'm in a bracket, and I just added -5 points for a medevac 2 seasons ago. So I was very happy to see somebody almost break his back, and I'm just glad that we got that little segment at the end that said, you know what, he's fine. But I agree with you.
What was the outcome of that?
Well, hold on. There might be people in here who haven't seen Survivor yet.
Oh, yeah, we probably
that's very fair.
I don't want to ruin it.
Just kidding. Everybody's backs are fine and A-okay and not getting hit by bullets.
Yeah, he's a fine.
Oh, man.
I mean, think about it. Do you think they kept him there? I mean, come on.
Right. But no, I agree, Allison. I think that the finale should be 2 hours. I don't understand why it was rushed. Because, like, all of the segments that they had were pre-taped up until, like, the speeches and the questions and stuff, and they started off the questions by Julie saying, like, we got to get through this really quickly. So I don't understand, like, did somebody like not plan the time correctly?
Yeah, well, they made time for Swaggy. Like,
oh yeah, exactly, Deborah. I was just about to say they sure didn't rush Swaggy C upstaging the entire game and finale with that proposal. Okay, listen, the last time I saw a proposal like this that I can remember, and I'm getting old, was Big Brother 2 when Mike Boogie.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Let's see how that worked out.
And that didn't work out. But you know what? I feel like these two really do care about each other, and I wish
Allison, that could have been you if you were cast this season. That could have been you. He was proposing to you.
Absolutely not. going to be engaged to someone who wears a nickname and an initial on the freaking shirt. But
What if
Tyler,
he had a shirt that said Finley on it? Would that change your mind?
then that
No.
would be a game changer. Yeah,
That
no,
would be a
you're
game
wearing my
changer.
cat.
No,
I'm the only
Finley's
person who's allowed
abusive.
to wear my cat. Too what? He's too abusive? It's true.
Yeah.
Finley bit the shit out of me when I was on the phone with Deborah yesterday. And let me tell you something. She heard me say things about punning an animal that's would have gotten me in trouble with.
I'm glad you guys are having side chats without me. I see where I am on the totem pole.
We're talking about you.
Mhm.
We were talking about my son who just moved home.
It's fine.
Okay.
Me and Kyle are going to make a show called My Weekly Gay Meltdown, and it'll be just us two. So,
Let's
yes.
do it.
Featuring Tyler, Chen, and Vez.
Tyler, you do have my mother's blessing for us to get married.
Okay, good. That's I was really worried about that.
She always wanted a gay son.
And guess
there you
what? He
go.
doesn't snore. He doesn't snore. So
Yes, Deb does know that for a fact. She got there first. So anyway.
I was gonna say, when we were talking about the time management thing with the finale, I think that it might be a good idea maybe if they like put the first part of the HOH maybe on Sunday's episode or something. They could they could compromise by like putting that on that episode, so then they can make more time, so then the final two can actually have some time to really speak to the jury and have some actual time, because it was so annoying. Every like time they were trying to talk, Julie's like, okay, all right,
right,
okay, and it was so
Kyle,
annoying. I was like,
that is such a good idea. I mean, like, who the fuck needs like an hour of Jeff Schroeder more than anybody recapping like such forced conversation, like, hey guys, remember that one time when like it's just so stupid and unnecessary. And I totally agree, Kyle, because that part one HOH is already filmed by the time
like
that all happens and airs.
Like they waste a whole hour on video footage that nobody cares to see.
Yeah.
And then we're forced to rush the finale, and it's like, well, why? Like, it's just so well. And then also the whole thing about like, didn't the final, they used to do it where like the final two would have some time to be together right by themselves, and they could speak to the jury. Isn't that how the format used to be?
Like, it was all pre-taped.
That needs to happen again. I don't understand why they don't do that. I mean, I feel like it would give them more time for the jury to really assess them and like figure out who they want to pick. I don't know.
Here's something that they're talking about in the chat as well. I want them to make it 2 hours and dedicate more time to pre-jurors, or they're not jurors, the pre-jury boots, because I wanted to hear Kaitlyn. I wanted to hear Angela. I mean, I wanted to hear Rachel look at Angela across the room and go, "What the fuck is your problem?"
That's true. We were robbed.
We were robbed of that.
I was like looking, trying to see if they were staring at each other. I mean, and they weren't even talking. They weren't even near each other at the end, because I was like standing there watching them as the credits were rolling.
Well, Rachel was like super emotional for Kaycee's win.
Yeah,
you know what?
I will say though that I think that they're doing the backyard dinner with Ross and Marissa. That they mentioned that they were going to try to get some of them together and talk to them in groups. So hopefully we get some sort of like reunion style thing where they
have to do like a giant level 6 reunion.
Hey
like
guys, did anybody notice Tyler's reaction to Julie Chen Moonves?
No, I didn't.
His eyes get really big.
He looked at her like
well, Tyler looked like
what?
after she read like that he won like the America's Favorite House Guest, and he does that fake like humble thing where he's like, I can't believe I thought America hated me.
Did he cry?
Like, give me a fucking break. But no, like after that, like when Julie was like signing off for the season, like he looked like super sad. Like he looked like he was devastated. Like it was finally hitting him that like he lost the game.
Fan. He's a super fan, yeah.
Oh, come on. Like, I don't give a shit that he's a super fan. Like, can we stop saying that in speeches?
How do you think Paul feels? He lost twice.
Right. That's true. But, like, I mean, like, I'm glad that Kaycee kind of buried that, too, like, in her speech by saying, like, yeah, I've been watching since season 1. Like, but she didn't make it a big deal, like a huge talking point. Like, I'm a super fan of this game. Vote for me. It's my dream. Like, get out of here.
You know something? I will say this. I would never call, I mean, seriously, I would never call myself a super fan. I mean,
I wouldn't call you a super fan either.
Shut your face. Push the mute button.
Oh my word.
Here's the thing.
God. Tyler's extra sassy.
I've been watching this show for 18 years since it very first started, and I still can't remember everyone who has won the game, all the crap that fucking Tyler knows that no human being knows. Because I know Tyler is not freaking human. Because I don't know how you and Nate Brzezinski, I don't know how the two of you know all the shit that you know about Survivor and Big Brother. It's amazing. And I'm not dogging, I think it's great. But it's like, I would never call myself a super fan. And I think because I don't know those things, I don't think that doesn't make me a super fan. I love this show. I absolutely love it. I'm passionate about it. Just because I can't remember everything about it doesn't make me any less than anybody else in this room. So, you know what I'm saying? I just don't know where I'm going with this point. It doesn't really have a point. I'm spinning.
Yeah, no, I'm
just
saying
spiraling.
No, I get what you're.
I feel like I'm giving a final two speech tonight. It's going nowhere.
Well, it was better than Kaycee's, but obviously it wasn't enough to win. So you're good. But I get what you're saying, Allison. Like I know that like there are degrees of fandom in this show in particular, with like the live feeds and like all like the recaps with RHAP and our show and stuff like that. But you don't have to be a super fan. Like to me, that shouldn't be a talking point, and I think that's the point that you're trying to make is like that shouldn't matter. It really shouldn't. Like it really should come down to the games and what Deb said.
It does have a slight element to it. The fact that if you could act like you're clueless about the game, meanwhile knowing every nuance of the game.
I don't know. I think that's kind of a retired point by now. I think that it's kind of a point that's been like beaten to death.
Yeah, but if they think that you're clueless and it makes you less of a threat. If you're clueless
but like
about
what's
the game.
stopping anybody from going up there and saying like I'm a super fan. Like I was playing. Like what's stopping like Liz Nolan or Gina Marie in Big Brother 15 saying, "Yeah, after I baked my chicken palm, I lied to everybody about me being a super fan of this show." You know what I mean? Like anybody can get up there and say that.
Yeah, it's like I don't give a shit if you're a freaking super fan. It doesn't wait. Because look, here's the thing: you're a super fan because you're outside of the house. You're watching the game. You know what the outcome's going to be. You see the scheming. You see all that stuff. You get your ass in the house. It is a completely different story. You are not privy to that information anymore. You're not reading, you know, you don't have Las Vegas Twitter person telling you all the stuff that's going on. Yeah, real Vegas, whatever. I mean, you don't have, so you could get in there and it turns into a completely different game. And yes, my mother has watched Big Brother with me at the very beginning. Listen, this is how far back it goes. My son was asleep on my chest when I was watching Big Brother 2 when Dr. Will won. And can I bitch for a second? Which
of course, it's my weekly meltdown.
I think that Dr. Will, the man, the myth, the legend who started this whole evil shit going.
I feel like this is going to be a really hot take.
This man deserves more than 4 minutes of jury time. Okay? Here's the thing. I have been waiting to see the jury talk, and you give me 5 damn minutes, not even that long. And it doesn't make it, I want more. I want more. I want more of the pre-jury boots. I want more of the jury. I want to see in the jury house. I think that there should be an extra show on Sunday where it's just the freaking jury, because that shit that I sat through this past Sunday was horrible. I was I was paying more attention to the nails. I mean, I couldn't pay attention. I'm like, I'm the only one in this group that loves Jeff, so don't come for me. But I mean, it's just
Tyler.
But it's like, let's have a memory session. I hate these episodes. I hate it when they make us sit around there and they go, "Oh, remember when this?" Yes, we don't give a shit. We want to know what's going on now. I want to see the conversation when Kaycee and Tyler told JC, we're not taking you. I want to see that. I've put in time on this gosh damn show for the last 3 months. Give me what I want. Don't give me an hour and a half. I didn't even get to hear Steve talk. Steve, the first boot, didn't really good to hear.
I have
him
to
talk.
say, speaking of Steve, Summer of
Like,
Steve.
give Swaggy C all the time in the world to propose. Sorry, go ahead.
I have to say, Summer of Steve 2018 looked Summer of Daddy good. He's lost some serious weight.
Dude, for
Yes.
real. I was about
Daddy
to say,
good.
he looked good. He probably
Yeah, I need to
probably
like
looked
know
him, too.
what I need to know what diet he's on and
Listen,
do that.
I'll tell you what that diet's called, Big Brother, episode 1. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all he had to say, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna get the Brett facial hair
That's true.
going. I'm gonna get in shape." And he looked wonderful. Everyone looked wonderful. Not a fan of Sam's new hair.
I liked it.
I liked it actually.
Oh, shocking! You like something that I don't.
Especially since it's like the same color as mine. So I like
It looks
Yeah,
good on
I was
you.
about to say that. It looks like Deb's.
You know what would be
Good
really
on
cool?
her.
You know, it'd be
What?
really cool if they did like I don't know if this would I mean I think it'd be cool if they did like a jury roundtable, but like when like on the live feeds, like if they did like maybe like you said like an hour-long thing where we could just like sit and watch them talk to each other versus just like you said like a 5-minute clip on the finale. Or like so like maybe for like the super fans we could actually like watch it and see it unfold live.
That would be awesome.
And then
Listen,
maybe questions could and then maybe like
Okay.
like fans could send questions in like during like it like while it's happening, and they could like answer questions, maybe like questions obviously that won't give away too much, for like general questions or I don't know. I think that'd be cool.
I'm not paying $8 a month for CBS All Access, to watch Star Trek, the next generation of galaxies, or whatever the hell other stuff they've got on there.
Oh my god.
I mean, really, how many fucking one of those shows can they make? Give me a break. We know it's Star Trek. I got cussed out once because I said track to that person. But I mean, how many? Seriously, it's Trek. My life depended on it. But I mean, it's like, why can't we have that extra? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No,
Exactly.
I think we're on agreement here that like the questioning like segment was so much better like back in Big Brother All-Star days when it was recorded and stuff, because they can really cut out like a lot of the bullshit, like a lot of the like and haha like and then like stumbling over their words and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Plus they have like the proper time to form like a valid argument. I could argue here that like if it was like that instead, Tyler would have had more time to give like his side of what happened, and therefore could have flipped Fessy's vote.
They really don't. They really don't give them enough time
Yeah.
to go over their game and step by step what their game was. I mean, if you're smart enough to remember everything that you did, why can't you give all your whole game?
I will say though, like one improvement that we were kind of talking about on the chat before we went live, was how like we talked about this on the last show, but how much I prefer the Big Brother Canada style Part 3 HOH.
Yeah.
And they did it this season for the first time. Like usually it's that crapshoot that we talked about where it's very 50-50. But this one was very much so like knowing like your days in the house, and like it was very much so like a proper competition.
Yeah.
I liked it, the whole thing, but I just keep going back to the ridiculous answers that they gave during their speeches, but I feel they were bad because they were rushed. But here's a little something. Humor me for a second. Deborah, you be Julie Chen Moonbells for a second. And I'm Tyler. Ask me how I feel about Angela.
You're Tyler? Okay.
I'm Tyler.
Tyler, tell me how you really feel about Angela.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't tell you
Time's
about
up. Time's up.
I'm sorry I didn't get to tell you about I'm sorry I didn't tell you about the final 2 with Kaycee, and I hope we spend time when we get out of here. You haven't seen this bitch in a week. Are you?
Right.
And then Angela's like, yeah, I hope we. No, sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hope we have enough time together. I mean, it was just so. But like I said, like we're not in there. We're not in that bubble. We don't know. But it was just.
I think that he's really like engulfed in this Angela thing, which is really sad. Like I really think that really undermined like a lot of his end game. Like in his final speech where he knows that it's like super rushed, he still makes it a point to say like, me and Angela secretly had more than a bond, and like he made this like TV moment and shit. I'm like, stop, like nobody gives a fuck about your showmans. Nobody gives a fuck about your power app that you won in week 2. Like that, he like kept going back to that point like all season long in his goodbye messages and his final speech and stuff like that. But like nobody cares about these things. Like talk about the you manipulating Kaitlyn to get out Swaggy, and that like putting level 6 in a position of power. Talk about that. Like he didn't mention any of that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah, because he made a lot of moves in the beginning, and he needed to talk about them.
Well, in the chat, they all want to like Kurt Runger. Hey, Kurt said, why did no one on the jury ask Tyler how many final 2s he had?
That's a great question.
That would have been a great question. Who was your real final 2? And don't sit here and say Kaycee, because it doesn't matter who Tyler was sitting next to. That person would have been his ride or die. That would have been his final 2.
He would have said that was their
don't care.
Yeah. And I also really didn't like how, well, first of all, I have to say JC in his final speech before Kaycee evicted him, JC was 100% correct. He was like, you're going to have a tougher competition against Tyler. Like he has Angela like rooting for him in the jury house. And I thought that that was really intelligent insight for him to say that and try to convince Kaycee last minute. But then Tyler gets up and he basically makes it seem like it's a done deal already. Like there's no decision to be made, and Casey's just the one pulling the trigger, you know? And I thought that that was really rude. Like I just didn't like how that came off.
It was very.
You guys agree with me?
It's the cockiness that we have been talking about for the last couple weeks. I mean, it's just to me, it was. The show was too rushed. They couldn't give real hardcore answers. I feel like if they were allotted the amount of time that they deserved, then they would have been able to answer the questions, and they would have come off more intelligent. And I mean, just unlike me, who can't talk right now, because my ass is normally asleep, by the way.
Because she gets up at 4:30 in the morning.
She gets up at 4:30 a.m.
At 4:30 a.m. Everyone knows that.
We know.
We know.
I don't know. Let's see. Also weird was the whole Coast to Coast Alliance. They acted like it was a hitman. It wasn't mentioned many. And I don't know. I just kind of, I feel a little like this has been the greatest season of Big Brother in a very long time.
Totally agree.
It went all the way up, and then it was a slow fall down. It's frustrating to me when two people, Kaycee and Tyler, it's like they said on Rob Has a Podcast. Rob Cesternino said, this is boring. I don't want to see these two in a final 2 together. I want to see, they didn't cover themselves in Carrie blood, did they, Deborah? They didn't.
Tyler was kind of covered in Gary blood.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing, guys. Let's be subjective for a minute here and think about the season as a whole. Like, yes, like there was like this past week or two was a little boring, but compare this 1 week of boredom and like we still had so much to talk about gameplay wise and like final 2 scenarios wise. You compare that to like literally any week of last year's Big Brother 19. Like we have been spoiled this year with such amazing entertainment and television from literally start to finish that the moment it got just a little bit dry and needed a refill, like people started complaining. And to me, that's the mark of a good season. And we went until like final 5 or whatever until we started to say, oh, it's starting to get a little boring. That is incredible. Like to me, this is the best season of Big Brother ever. I will say that right now. I think that this is the best season Big Brother's ever had.
Oh, it's definitely, and especially coming off of Big Brother 19, this just was, I don't understand. And I'm going to say Tyler typed up this beautiful long message on Facebook today. I took a nap in the middle of it, but it was beautiful. Yeah, I mean, you wrote something very nice about Big Brother 20, and then one of your friends on Facebook took a dump on it.
I hate
and
when people do that shit.
He said
he's not my friend.
boring, and I stopped watching it halfway through. All the good people went right away. How can you say that? We don't know what some of these people were capable of. We will never know what Steve was capable of. We will never know what Rachel was capable of. We'll never know what Swaggy C was. He was more of a hit on social media. And Bayleigh, if there were no Bayleigh in that house, no offense, Swaggy C, if you're watching this, you're probably not. Just saying, you would have been forgotten. Because sometimes you brought up the name Steve and Rachel, and I'm like, who? Oh. And I'm not being disrespectful, but it's just.
It's hard to remember.
What you do? Yeah. What you do? What you do? You made it on the show, but what else you do?
Yeah, I mean, like, basically this guy at my status was complaining, like, this cast is so boring. Like, everybody, especially Angela, was so entitled. I stopped watching halfway through. And this makes me think back to, like, a tweet that Evil Dick had and, like, kept saying, like, throughout the entire season. And I totally agree with. But Evil Dick said, he was like, if you don't like this season, you just simply don't like Big Brother. And that's, like, what it comes down to for me. Because there is, like, literally nothing to complain about with this season, especially now that Kaycee has won. Unless you're, like, a diehard Tangela fan, but they can go fuck themselves.
Exactly. And
Damn.
Like, I mean, if I hated Big Brother last year more than anything, and I stuck it through.
Yeah.
Before Big Brother 19, and I did the show alone, I covered every night, Sunday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Every night I covered it. I wore myself out. And then season 19 came along, and I was like, I'm doing this once a week. I'm doing this on Saturdays. I'm going to sum it up real quick because there was nothing to really talk about. But the only thing that I will give season 19 is the finale was more exciting to me in Big Brother 19 because I genuinely did not know who was going to win between Paul and Josh. And they both went for it, threw each other under the bus. My favorite thing about Big Brother is when those final two are sitting in that seat and one person is up and the other person is sitting there and they're making faces like,
yeah, but you have to think like that. To me, that's the mark of somebody that's not a good player. Like, I think that like everybody was so poised and so mature about like how the game was played this season because everybody was here to play and everybody was playing very well with the exception of like Falte like making dumb mistakes and like Sam, of course. But you know what I mean? Like if you're playing good, it's not going to be explosive. It's not going to be huge and dramatic. You know what I mean? Like those are very much so like unicorns in the Big Brother universe in terms of like good gameplay and being like an explosive personality.
You know what would make this season a lot better?
What?
Nothing.
Allison. If Allison was on it, shit.
Yes.
I almost choked on that compliment.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I would.
If you were in place of Sam, do you think that so say like you were the robot the first week and you ended up being like nominated next to Steve, do you think that you would have gotten the votes to stay? Because it was like what, like a 7-6 vote or something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really close.
Yes,
And
I would have had.
You would have sided with Falte or level 6 is my follow-up.
I think I would have fought. It's hard to say because in that situation, you know, I wouldn't have sat around and felt sorry for myself. I would have made it fun. I would have done whatever I could. I would have been running over people. I don't care. I would have been in the conversation, but doing whatever I could to be a part of the group. And depending on how they treated me and how they approached me, you know, it's kind of like, well, in the beginning, am I boring and follow the numbers, or what does it matter? Because if I'm nominated, it's it's them. It's not me. It's what groups they're in. But it would have been more beneficial to keep someone like me because I could see a lot of, not as a person, but game-wise, I could see myself like JC planting seeds, telling people things and doing things like that and never winning anything because I'm not big in sport. I'm not like that. I buckle under pressure, and I would be someone that you would probably drag like that and cut loose at Final 3 or Final 4. But if I had to pick between Faysal and level 6, I probably would have gravitated towards level 6 just because Brett and Kaycee are more of the personalities that I gravitate towards, you know, fun, laughing, cutting up, easygoing, someone you can just kick back with. You know, now I'm not talking about the Rachels and the Winstons and all that, you know, because we really didn't get to know them. I'm talking about the ones that we really got to know. And Kaycee probably would have gone out of her way to make me feel welcome and make me feel good, and I would have followed her. So see, she is right in her social game where she can manipulate these people into liking her so much that they did give her $500,000, probably only $300 after taxes, just from an accounting perspective. It's just you know,
so go ahead, Kyle.
Oh, I was gonna I wanted to share this very interesting tweet with you guys. I want to get your guys' take on it. So Tiffany Russo, Vanessa's sister, she tweeted, and she said jury, which I'm assuming she's talking about, this jury. Jury is a reflection of what's wrong with millennials. Everyone gets a trophy for participating, and no one rewards real work. Tyler put in real work.
No, I totally disagree with that.
So Kaycee.
Someone's better.
I totally disagree with that. And what Allison just said is actually really good, like, evidence to support my opinion on this. So Allison said, when I asked her, which side would you go to? Would you go to Faysal or would you go to level 6? The first thing she said was, it depends on which side makes me feel better. And it all goes back to Deb's point that she made at the beginning of the show by saying, you're going to navigate to and work with and potentially vote for in the end the person that makes you feel good about it all.
Yeah, I agree.
So that we can throw that tweet right in the garbage and light that on fire.
We got a really nice compliment from one of our regulars. Weston Evans said, honestly, y'all were a big part of this season for us viewers, safe to say.
Aww.
That is so sweet.
That was nice.
And that's, you know, look, Tiffany, let me tell you something about Tiffany.
Okay.
I played, Did you play with Tiffany?
She won season 2 of Sequester, right?
No, okay, so Deb, you didn't play with.
No.
I played with Tiffany in Sequester All-Stars, and Tiffany had a way, and I don't know what she said, had a way, even when we were all booted off, she still had a way of throwing our names into conversations because she knew we were watching. She paid me a huge compliment about how I would vote and all the way I would do things. And it made me think she really saw me. She really paid attention to me and all this stuff. And that really wasn't the case. It was just the way she was doing it. But here's the thing. A participation trophy, there are many truths to a generation that does get participation trophies. I never got a participation trophy. You either were in first place or you got the little cheap blue ribbon. Remember those, Deb? Mm-hmm. Those things freaking fell apart.
I didn't get anything.
You got home.
I didn't get anything.
Yeah, I never got any. I showed up. I didn't get shit. I didn't get a 10th place gold star. But I'm going to disagree with Tiffany on this one because Kaycee did make people feel a certain way, and that was very, very, very important. And that is not easy to do all of the time. You got to suck it up and go up to people that you really don't care about, because there's a finish line at the end, and that finish line is a check for $500,000.
Yeah,
and it's just, I don't know. Tiffany's a little different from me, so I love her to death. I think she's great, but I think that was a little silly.
Yeah, I agree.
And I mean, like, let's talk about Sam for a minute. Like, Sam was like super tight with Tyler like all season long, and he basically calls her a side deal and like a throwaway in his speech. Like, I'm sure that had to hurt Sam to hear. You know what I mean?
She was just trying not to cry the whole time.
Right, exactly. Like, how can you sit there and expect to win when you literally just call somebody like a side gig that's like a marriage of convenience? You know what I mean?
Especially when you know she's an emotionally unstable person and that she rides on the emotions.
Exactly. Summer of Steve would have voted for you. Just saying.
And also to call her game like participation trophy.
Right,
her 5 vetoes, her HOH win,
exactly.
her hacker win. That's
2
a little more. Yeah, 2 HOHs. That's a little more than just participation. That is getting her and her alliance safely to the
100%. And I totally disagreed with Dr. Will when he was like, yeah, but what did she do with those veto wins? She kept the house on lockdown from any kind of upset from happening.
What was she supposed to do with the vetoes? Like destroy her own game?
Right, just because
screw her alliance.
Just because there wasn't theatrics to all of it, that doesn't mean that it's boring or bad, you know?
Yeah, so I don't know what kind of participation trophies Tiffany's been getting. I mean, but Kaycee did what she did, and I don't care what anyone says. It got her $500,000. You can be bitter about it. You can be salty, as the kids say.
And also to all the people in the jury that slept on the fact that a professional football player is in the house and they let her get to the end.
Yep.
Just saying.
Exactly.
Yep. You are so right, Deb.
The one thing that I did not really enjoy about this season is I kept waiting for the level 6 people to eat themselves alive, and it never really happened. There was this continuing of kumbaya, holding hands, we're in an alliance together, blah blah blah, and to me, by the time it got to the end, I was bored with it. I mean, I want the drama. I want people to throw each other under the bus, but I could not be happier that Kaycee won. I think, Tyler, you and I picked, she was in our top 3.
I was really torn between Kaycee and Rachel, and because I have a connection to Rachel, I went with her instead. But yes, congratulations, Allison. You now hold the crown for going into Big Brother Canada. Just saying.
I picked the winner for Survivor last year too.
But Survivor and Big Brother winners are separate. But you're right. You did pick Wendell as well.
Right.
But even though that was a dumpster fire of a win.
Yeah, well.
Okay. Why does everyone got to take a dump on my happiness? Let's take a big old IBS dump. Like a shit shower.
Oh my God.
Well, I don't really know what else to say.
I feel like there was another point. I mean, we can talk about Swaggy's proposal.
Oh yeah, proposal, yes.
More. Bayleigh looked like I was genuinely wondering if she was going to say no.
I know. I thought she
looked shocked. Yeah.
I was so nervous for Swaggy. I seriously thought and I feel like
I'm not having this.
Maybe she just said yes for the camera.
As soon as she says yes, Julie doesn't even wait for everybody to sit down. She's like, okay, by the way, we're gonna yeah, she's like, all right, now Sam voted for Kaycee. All right, Haleigh voted for she just went through it
Tyler?
Okay. I didn't do that. I didn't do that, by the way.
Wait, sorry, I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah, you were frozen.
Okay. No, I was just saying that I also thought it was so funny that Julie just went through it so fast. She was like, all right, Sam voted for Kaycee. All right, Haleigh voted for Tyler. She really did wait for everybody to sit down.
I know, she really did. There's usually a lot more suspense when she's pulling the keys.
Yeah, someone on production really fucked up the timeline for this.
Yeah.
That did seem really rushed.
It's such a crime that we didn't get to hear from Kaitlyn. I really wanted to hear what Julie Chen Moonvest's color of her aura is. That's the stuff I need to know in the finale.
Oh, right. I'm getting my color red this weekend. I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah?
I will let you know what color my aura is.
Oh, you're leaving tomorrow, right?
Yes.
Oh,
Deb, can we FaceTime? When you meet with her?
Hello? Tyler? Is he gone?
Tyler.
I think he's gone.
R.I.P. Tyler.
No, he's back.
Yes. Okay. You want to FaceTime when I meet her?
Quick, everyone talk.
I'm relying on my grandparents' Wi-Fi, but yeah, no, FaceTime me when she's here and or when you're with her. I would love to know what color my aura is.
Okay.
Oh, I'm dying to know what mine is.
Yes.
Yours is red. Yours is like blood red.
Mine's black like my soul.
True. Kurt says in the chat, Kaitlyn said on Twitter today she's off Twitter for the rest of the year after today.
Oh, yeah,
I would bet my entire life savings that that's not going to hold up.
Yeah.
Weston in the chat asked, how did your grandmother like the show tonight? Yeah, so I got to watch the Big Brother finale for the first time. Oh, she's too camera shy to talk about it, but she got a little camera shy. But yeah, it was.
Meemaw has Walmart Wi-Fi.
It was, yeah, I know. I'm sorry. But basically, we were on the same page. We wanted Kaycee to win, and we were so excited. And it was so cool to be watching the live vote happen right in front of us together. And I'm very happy that I got to watch that with her.
That's always fun. Yeah. Cherish that time with your grandma because that's very special. Definitely. I used to watch Magna PI reruns with my Pawpaw Virgil before he died. Let me tell you something. He's rolling over in his grave right now with this reboot. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I watched it yesterday with McCrae on TV Party app or whatever day it was on.
Horrible.
Horrible. We were all like, how horrible is this?
Horrible. I refuse to watch it. Oh, which brings me. I am putting together a show. I don't know if I'm going to do it weekly or by whatever. I may just do it whenever I feel like it. About what I'm watching on TV during the week. If you have shows that you like and you love, send me an email, memphisdarling@gmail.com. I just want to do a show once a week where I talk about all these trash shows that I watch, like, Teen Mom OG, The Challenge, Hell's Kitchen, all, who doesn't love some Ramsey? That's all I'm going to say. Okay. Jeff Ramsey, just saying, and that's just something that is on the horizon for the show. I know a lot of you have said that you're going to miss us and we're going to miss you guys.
We're not going anywhere. We're still doing Survivor.
Here's the thing. If you don't watch Survivor, but you want to see us, it premiered tonight before Big Brother. Catch up on it. I think CBS All Access has it, the first episode free. Go watch it Monday night at 7, 6 Central. We are going to, I don't know, Deborah, will you be here?
Yeah, I'll be back.
We're going to do it's going to be late, but we're going to do our episode 1 and kind of a little cast assessment for the first episode of Survivor, David versus Goliath. And then we'll be back the following, the Wednesday, 2 days later, immediately after episode 2 of Survivor at 9, 8 Central. But other than that, I don't really think there's anything else to discuss. Kaycee won. We all know how she got here. I'm happy that we got to talk to her best friend briefly that time. Would love to get in touch with her again and maybe have Kaycee on sometime just to talk about the show. That would be amazing.
That would be cool. I'm really excited to hear all the backyard interviews and all the post-show coverage and see if there's any inside scoop or anything. Especially now that we are a real thing.
I'm loving this Walmart Wi-Fi right now.
But just I'm sorry. Am I back?
You're back.
Very smart. He had all this social stuff gameplay.
I hear Sam. What's happening?
Sorry, she's on here. I was looking. They're doing the backyard interviews right now. It was on my phone.
So I want to sign off and watch them. But I was just saying it's cool that we found out tonight that Haleigh and Fessy are together, for instance. And I would just like to hear more loose ends tied up about stuff like that. So.
Well, everybody go to cbs.com and or wherever and watch the backyard interviews. I think we're gonna get off here if that's all right, and we'll all peek in on that and see what's going on. I'm not going to get emotional, but I just want everyone to know that I do honestly love Big Brother, and I honestly love doing this show with you guys, and I cannot thank you guys enough for donating your time to this show and helping me do this, because it would not be what it is without your help. So Deborah, Kyle, and Tyler, and all the others that came on the show, Charlie Thweet and Ethan Gnomes they were on episode 1 with me. I mean, because
Gnomes, I think it's Gomez.
Go, whatever.
No.
That little fart in the wind knows who the hell it is.
Who else? We have Bill.
We had Bill on that infamous episode
Trey.
that didn't.
Yeah.
We had Andreas. We've had Kevin Schubert came on the show. McCrae came. Well, that was Survivor. He came on for Survivor once.
Hamza.
Fuck Hamza. Anyway. But, we really appreciate you guys. And please, 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 please watch. We love you too, Weston. Everybody. Joy-Con Thomas.
Audrey.
And Elda. Yeah, we had Audrey Middleton on the show. Everybody in the chat. We love you very much. We appreciate it. And like I said, we'll be back next week. We'll be covering Survivor, David versus Goliath. Like I said, if you don't watch it, now's a good time, because why not? You just get to hear us bitch about it because it's fun. Shoot me an email, memphisdarling@gmail.com, about what shows you're watching. I'm going to put a show together about...
And, sorry, to answer, I just wanted to answer Kurt's, he asked if we're covering Celebrity Big Brother. We're doing that too.
Yes.
Also, hey, everybody, please follow me on TV Party app. I will be with all the people from Big Brother this weekend at the Vegas event. So I will be going live on TV Party app and interviewing them, and you can pop in the guest and talk to them. So follow me on TV Party app and don't miss that.
What is your handle on TV Party app?
Deborah G.
Deborah G. Okay. Well, that's great, and I'm so happy that we all we made it through an entire season of Big Brother.
Yay.
We made it.
Yeah, we made it.
I just have one last closing thought.
Go ahead.
I just want to gloat for 1 second about myself here.
Can I fire up my music? Hold on. Can I fire up my music one last time?
Yeah, please, by all means, because I'm just going to gloat and be me for a second.
Don't start till I cue the music. Oh, here it is. Sad piano. It's saved.
I mean, it's not going to be sentimental, but...
Fuck it. I has to play after this damn ad.
Of course you don't have YouTube Premium.
What?
I said, of course, you don't have YouTube Premium.
Do you? Do you have YouTube Premium?
Of course. Kurt wants one last thing.
Bougie. So bougie with your YouTube Premium.
He wants what?
I don't even know what YouTube Premium is, because I'm a welder and I live in a trailer, and I just
okay, that's my Sam impression for Kurt. But okay, 45 seconds. Okay, so I just wanted to say I was correct all season long. Can I mute Allison?
Yeah.
I turned it.
Keep on going.
Okay, I just muted Allison. So I just wanted to say real quick, I'm so proud that I was so correct all season long about...
And then he freezes. And then
The little bitch just froze.
Oh, no.
Just let him keep going.
I can't with you.
Anyway, go me. I predicted that Tyler would lose all along, and I've never been more happy to say that I was correct. So that's it.
Okay.
I'm glad you're correct.
Thanks. I am too. Thank God. Yeah, okay, let's go watch the backyard interviews.
Alrighty.
I'm going to miss all of you guys. We will talk to you soon. We will be back Monday at... Oh, hold on. It's getting good.
Oh.
Oh, gosh.
We will be back Monday at 7/6 Central to cover the episode 1 of Survivor, David versus Goliath. Then we'll be back Wednesday at 9/8 Central to talk bitch about Survivor, David versus Goliath. You guys will love it because I try to sum up the whole episode of Survivor in less than a minute. It's a shit show. Okay, that's enough. That's getting on my nerves. Okay. Love you guys. And we will see you later. Please subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown on whatever this is. My Weekly Meltdown on YouTube. Okay. All right. And you'll get a update, whatever, when we go live. My Weekly Meltdown on I'm being rushed. My Weekly Meltdown on Facebook. Please subscribe or like it. Subscribe to My Weekly Meltdown on YouTube. You'll get a notification when we go live. B.Memphis.Darling on Instagram. @Summers SOMMERS on Twitter. Okay, everybody say how we can find you.
You can find me at TLions on both Twitter and Instagram.
Okay.
At My Next Life Debbie, DEBI on Twitter.
And KALLENOH on Twitter.
All right, guys. Thank you so much
let's
for
go.
watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.